Still want to go into the past
Right.
and jump to the future.
Sure.
There was a period in your life, you referred to it any number of times through here, when you were living literally the sex, drug, and rock and roll life.
Absolutely.
And then you become the father of 2 daughters.
Right.
How often did you think, wish I hadn't done some of that?
Here's what it is. Let's go back to the beginning, right? I say this so people can completely relate to it that may have not been in a band. You look at people going to college. They're partying, frat parties, this crazy, I'm talking about from 18 to 24, whatever the party period is. When you're first hitting and everything is around you, I get on the road and it's a Tuesday night, we're at the Ritz. We're drinking with some fans, they're having a great time. They came to the show to see this. This is what they think Poison is. So I'm having a good time. A few drinks, I go, okay, great. Next day, it's Wednesday and we're in, not Dallas anymore, we're in Houston. Those fans want to party. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna have one drink. Boom. This goes on through my career, especially in the early part. And I know I'm diabetic, so I've done something. I've surrounded myself with good people that know if I'm having a really low blood sugar or high blood sugar, notice this, help me out, right? And it's dangerous because when you're having a low blood sugar, it's a lot like being drunk. It's the same feeling, so it can become life-threatening real quick.
Did you have a so-called aha moment when you said, wait a minute, if I don't stop what I'm doing,
right,
then my chances of living my dream are diminished quite a bit?
I absolutely had several aha moments. My first biggest aha moment came after I'd had a horrific car wreck. Luckily, the only person that got hurt in that car wreck was me. So my first aha moment was thanking God I didn't injure anyone but myself, right? And in that aha moment, they discovered that my liver had swelled up from the drinking. So my second big aha moment, second big one, so I'm in San Antonio, Texas. I have an emergency appendectomy done, right? I come back here that night, I'm sitting down in my house and I'm watching baseball and some other stuff. And the next thing I know, I have a massive brain hemorrhage. I couldn't, in a billion years, if you said, Bret, you want to bet on something that will happen to you in your life, I wouldn't have put a penny on that. And my brain blew up. A subarachnoid hemorrhage, base stem in my brain. I knew I was in trouble. I didn't know if someone shot me, broke into the house. I'm watching TV and it made this thunderclap sound. And that's what it sounded like something broke inside it. Like it just went bam, and the mouth drooped, the everything that, like I said, but my adrenaline kicked in. And part of being diabetic saved my life because I know how to stay calm in bad situations. I'm good in a firefight, so to speak. And we got to the hospital and it was the most insane words I'd ever heard. Everything's going on around me. And you hear in the distance, if you have kids, I would bring them down here. And I'm not gonna lose it again, but it is, at that moment, it was fight or flight, and I chose fight. I said, no, I'm not going out like this. And then the next thing, I woke up about 2.5 or 3 days later at Barrows Hospital, and I woke up to someone massaging my legs. They're like moving your legs so you don't get another blood. I'm like, is this heaven? What's happening right now? This is not how I pictured heaven to be, if it was heaven I was going to, which I hope it is. But that was my aha moment in my second time around, and that really, really helped me to just be grateful for everything. And when the party creeps up, learn how to control it.
Over the years, and I'm keeping in mind the 80s into the 90s, and now you're still touring.
Yes.
In this second decade of the 21st century. Regrets. Everybody has some regrets.
Right.
Biggest regret.
Along with the side of me that wants to make people have a great time, also, like I told you, I hold a lot of anger underneath there for all the criticism. It doesn't make me bitter, but you hold it in there, and once in a while someone can push that button, and I have been a little too quick to get in a couple fist fights with people, and I regret those, especially with my best good friends like Cece and stuff. Just, he just pushed my button, and I'm sure I pushed his, and it's the strangest feeling in the world when you're in the middle of the heat of a fight. You don't realize it, and you're just throwing down, and then the next day it makes you sick in your stomach because I'm hitting my best friend.
Let's
And
talk
he's hitting me. It's a weird, you're knocking each other. I mean, I'm talking about breaking noses and teeth going out. It was ugly a couple times.
What triggers that anger? Because I don't want you to trash our equipment in the room here all of a sudden.
I will not. I will tell you exactly what it is for me, what happens in life. And by the way, I know the secret of life. I know it, but you're going to laugh when I tell you what it is. It's unreciprocated love, right? If I could learn that, I teach my kids this, I just don't live by it. You know what I mean? I teach them, someone says something to you, let it flow off, or focus it into something else. But what happens is, in the midst of, in this business, you've got 1,000 trains coming, and I become a conductor. So you got this person saying they need you for an interview, this person saying they want you on stage for sound check. This all throughout the day it's all collecting. It's just how I deal with it. And I said, this builds your character. And I said 9 times out of 10, I deal with it great. But just like with poison, it is 99% great. But when it goes bad, we can't fake it.
Well, in terms of, you mentioned, I think it was unreciprocated love.
Yes.
Thought was the secret of life. When you examine yourself, is that one reason you haven't gotten married?
Well, here's the thing. In my life, I say love is always a work in progress.
I don't want to pursue this beyond this point, but it's the question, it raises the question, whether you're afraid of making a commitment, because you're now, 57 years old as we have this conversation. And so it's sort of interesting, you have such a commitment to your work, you have such a commitment to excellence, you mentioned your passion with it, that not being able to make a commitment to another person just sort of interests me. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I am very committed, and in a relationship, right, that, where I have 2 beautiful daughters, Rain Elizabeth, Georgia Blue, unbelievably trying to make a commitment to be a great dad, right? And Christy is such an amazing, amazing human being, an amazing person. And in a sense, I am committed, but I've learned that it's both your professional and your personal career. Sometimes they collide. And what happens in the world that we live in now of social media, sometimes a lot of it is just simply protecting. As much as you want your family to be, you're proud of them and you want to say everything, you also want to protect your family.